I think I'm on. And yeah, I'm coming out. That's good news. I don't know about you.
I'm all right. Am I here? Yeah.
You're there as well.
Well,
Beautiful.
result, mate. What a result.
Oh, well, Happy New Year, I guess.
Yeah. Moving on then.
I guess we're on the 8th now, so yeah, I'm guessing we can move on from Happy New Year.
Yeah, well, we did the New Year's extravaganza, didn't we?
I'm just going to say hello to everyone in Listener Lounge, and then we will start the show, I guess. Yeah. Might as well. Very good evening to you.
Am I on camera?
No, you're not on camera. That's why I'm talking to the camera. You will be on camera, though. All I've got to do is just press a little button.
Is
there.
it split screen technology?
No,
again?
it's not. It's you now. Just you on camera. Yeah, say
right,
hello to the listeners.
Yeah, hello to the listeners.
And you're going to give away what we're drinking this evening.
I'm not giving it away. We're having it.
Okay, well, you know, I meant in the essence that
we're going to do a review of this wine. This
beautiful wine.
Yeah.
I did get. I had a message coming from one of our listeners. I think a couple of weeks ago now. Not this in the last week or so. Last year, yeah. And I forgot to mention it, but they say loving the show, which straight away makes me dubious. Makes me a bit dubious. Look at all the mats I've put on this table.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do is just choose a mat. And anyway, so loving the show apparently,
yeah.
but we do a lack of reviews of the wine.
Have they tried what we drink?
Well, I think this week now we should do a proper review of the wine.
Well,
so camera's on you.
You have your glass.
Thank you.
And there's my glass.
Wonderful.
What's happened to the split screen technology then?
Well, it might work in a minute, but you know, it was a 2-minute turnaround.
Okay.
And that split screen was for New Year's Eve. Cheers.
So we've a red wine. It's got a good bouquet.
Oh, it's so good.
You got to sniff it first.
Have you? Yeah, it smells so good as well.
Yeah, it smells fruity. You've got the bouquet? Is that right?
Yeah, the bucket. Yeah.
What's that all about?
I tell you, it's so good.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm camera.
So this year, 2023, we're going to be starting off with some Jam Shed wine. And
That's a good start to the year.
This is the Shiraz version, not. Oh, actually, back on you, is it? You promoted the. There you go. Not the Malbec.
Malbec, yeah.
Not a lover of the Malbec.
And they do a rosé and a white.
Yeah, I haven't tried the rosé because I was ill during that time.
So we're trying this one, Jam Shed.
We're trying the Jam Shed Shiraz again because we've been told it's quite nice, and we've given it. What I'm going to do as well.
Yeah.
Where we're on, I'm going to play an advert straight off.
Okay.
Because the other message I got was from our advertisers.
You're kidding.
Saying, you know, we don't hear the advert much. So we're playing it now.
Do it.
Yeah.
Happiness is when you finally stop smoking and enjoy vaping, having been given the very best advice there is from Somerset Vape, a family-run independent business based in Weston-super-Mare with an online shop. Just search for Somerset Vape or v4pe.co.uk.
Oh, there you go. Nicely done. So yeah, that was our sponsors of the show.
v4pe.co.uk.
That's if you want to get it online. That is, you know, V4PE, or you can, if you are Western based or anywhere around sort of Western, then you can join them in their studios, in their, their studio shop.
Yeah.
Which is based
in Western, at the back of us.
In Western back of. You would have thought that we would have had it by now. We would have had the address by now. This is what they were basically saying in the email, is about the professionalism of
They
us.
told me, what? Well, they won't be sponsoring us again then, wouldn't they?
No, they won't. So we best bloody hope Jam Shed do, because then we're out of sponsors. Right. So cheers.
We've more than plugged them. They probably just tuned in. If they'd tell them to listen to us on the original show.
To be honest with you, it was Jace that told me it came from the sponsors, so I'm not that sure whether it came from the sponsors at all.
I've been in there since and got top.
I think Jace is just trying to get us to up our gusto levels. You know, yeah, I think.
Well, Jace is trying to get us to up.
Yeah,
our levels.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. Because apparently we don't do enough. On this radio show. Oh, I'll tell you what. I am on the wrong screen for myself. I am on our old New Year's Eve.
Oh yeah.
had fireworks and everything going off in the
There's
background.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think it's the one. I think we should go back to the 1950s gentleman's smoking lodge. I'll tell you what does look perfect, though, I don't know if you can see me on the camera
Well, I can
now.
see
on
you.
the
I'm
camera.
watching you and I can see you in real life as well.
Perfect. Well, don't you think that this over here... Oh, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, switch it on.
The show hasn't officially started until we turn the dazzling lights on.
Yeah, it's good.
And it does look fantastic in the 1950s gentleman's smoking lodge, which is probably very un-PC or terribly woke nowadays. You don't think you're allowed a gentleman's lodge anymore, are you?
Well,
You're probably going to have some form of...
Gentleman's cottage.
Well, let's not go back.
Let's not do that.
Let's not go back into cottaging. Let's not go back down the line to cottaging. So, have you got anything to start the new year off and start a new show, or we're just going to continue the way how we left off in 2022, which was it was close to a car. New Year's Eve was 5 hours of just a 5 hour fiasco.
The first maybe 90 minutes was all right, and then it just.
Well, that's good, because I can remember the first...
The Norwegian short drink that you get. Well, and then that stuff that Steve made. I got to just do a quick shout out to the famous site, because he messaged in. And I got through a bit late, actually. I said, I was playing, I can't remember his name. He said, don't forget Yaz had a hit with Doctor in the House, Gold Cut, and Stand Up for Your Love Rights. So I did know that. But that's the first time he's been in our new chat room, and the famous Julie.
How are they doing this year?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's early yet, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, all good. And I had a message as well. We got Faye and Susie tuning in. I got a story to say.
Faye,
yeah, I know.
Faye and Susie, was it?
Yeah.
Hello, Faye and Susie.
Hello, ladies. Yeah. Ended up chatting about Christmas Day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say which one, right? They're saying, I don't know how it came about, but what would... I just thought it was really... I felt about laughing. Well, anyway, I'll tell you.
Tell me. I have no idea what you're on about.
I said, I've got a hostess trolley.
Okay.
I went, that's nice.
You have?
No, I haven't.
Right.
Susie has.
Right, okay.
Yeah, she's got a hostess
and
trolley.
Susie just brought this up in...
It just came out in conversation about...
It must be nice. Must be...
It's heated.
Must be nice, Susie.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Heated.
Hostess trolley.
Yeah. Now,
very 70s chic.
I wasn't expecting what came out of her mouth next, because it was such a lifesaver on Christmas Day, because she said she has a small kitchen that, it did its job and it kept the food on, wheeled it into the lounge, and everybody was happy that they gave the hostess trolley a round of applause.
They gave the hostess trolley a round of applause. Or Susie did?
Yes.
What, just Susie gave them a round of applause, or did everybody else give it a round of applause?
No, I think she fed the troops. I think it was like, kids.
So the troops gave it a round of applause? I'm just saying, because it would look a little bit weird, Susie on her own, just, clapping the hostess trolley.
Some people, they are like that, some people, aren't they? And I wasn't expecting. But then, to top that, and then it went on to famous people, and so apparently she had Daniel O'Donnell. She had the hots for Daniel O'Donnell, and she went to see him in concert, and he kissed her on the cheek, but never even looked at her, or she kissed him, and she was wearing a nice polka dot dress. And then after that, she went home and took his picture down off her lounge wall.
Well, that's what you get when you don't reciprocate a kiss from your fans.
I'm sort of painting a picture, and I'm sort of thinking, like in her
Who's
lounge.
this, Susie or
Susie? Yeah.
Susie?
So there's a picture of Daniel O'Donnell in her lounge.
Yeah.
And her hostess trolley that's heated up that she gave a round of applause to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought I'd share that with you.
I think what we should try and do for next week is get in touch. I think what we should do for next week, with the power of Apple Radio, is we're going to get in touch with Daniel O'Donnell and find out his side of the story.
Or you could phone Susie up and ask her.
What we could do. I mean, I'll tell you, you've got the phone details and stuff, mate. So you could do that if you like.
Yeah, all right,
it's still on you, by the way, all the way.
That's right.
I'm gonna. While you're doing that, I am going to tell you about a new thing I think we should be starting this year. On our show, I am going to be doing a movie review every week, but not just any old movie review. For starters, it's only going to last about a minute. Okay, which is a great movie review. Yeah. And it's not going to be of any new movies. It's going to be of some old classics that we might have forgotten about, we missed the first time around, or just ones that we've watched over and over again that I'm just going to give you a reminder, maybe you should watch it again. This week, this week, Apocalypse Now.
Okay. We're doing it now.
Francis Ford Coppola. Well, while you're doing that, I thought I might as well have something to talk about. Or should I just keep quiet whilst you bimble around with the phone?
I've got Ashes Sat in the Fire, according to Jason.
Yes,
as well.
I know. I've got that as well.
Ashes Sat in the Fire.
Yeah. He's out of the fire now, though. We should be getting him to wear his green suit, really, if he's in the studio. But anyway, Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse Now. Yeah. Classic movie from the 68, something like that, I think it was. Yeah. It came around 70. No, maybe it was a lot later than that. It's maybe 70s. As you can see, I've put a lot of thought in this movie review. I watched it last week, basically, and I forgot how fantastic of a story it was. Based on the book Heart of Darkness. There you go. See, I've done a little bit of reviews about it. Amazing book.
You're sticking on me.
And one of the things is why I want you to rewatch it again is because there's a scene in it very near the start. A fella called Martin Sheen. You must remember Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Druggy.
Well, no, not Charlie Sheen.
Oh.
Martin Sheen.
Oh, right, yeah.
Charlie Sheen is the son of Martin Sheen. Yeah. Well, funny you should say jokes, because back in the during the Apocalypse Now period, Martin Sheen was going through his alcoholic period. So he was drunk most of the time during that movie.
Like what I was in the 80s?
Like what you were in the 80s. Yeah. He was in the 70s during Apocalypse Now. Now, Francis Ford Coppola has this way of dealing with actors where instead of telling the actors to act the character, he tries to get the characters to become the actors. Which basically means is he wants... it's a way of method acting. Anyway, long story short, he encouraged his actors to do a few different ideas and play around with a few things. Martin Sheen got very, very drunk on the set one day, or after shooting. Got very, very drunk. Got to the point where he started getting obnoxious, loud. He went out of his trailer and found a couple of camera guys and demanded that they follow him.
Okay.
Back to his trailer.
Like flying a wall.
Back to his trailer. A bit dodgy straight away. A very, very drunk Martin Sheen gets a couple of camera guys, drags them back to his trailer, and then proceeds to smash up the place. Okay.
And filmed it, yeah.
And got them to film it.
Okay.
He had a drunken sort of just a fit of rage, smash up the place. When he punches the mirror, it's proper blood that's coming out of his hand, all of this. And they filmed the lot. Okay. It was his idea. He was drunk. He decided he wanted them to film him whilst he was drunk doing whatever.
Drunk things.
Anyway, Coppola got hold of this, seen it, and it is part of the movie. The actual start of the movie where Martin Sheen at the very start, just before he gets told of his secret mission, I won't give the story away, but just before he gets told the secret mission, he's there filmed smashing up a room. Parts of that were, in fact, Martin Sheen actually drunk, smashing up in front of some cameramen, without Coppola's knowledge or information, just for the hell of it. Now, that is just one tiny story based on Apocalypse Now. And Apocalypse Now, so I seen it only last week, and it stands up. It stands up in time. And it's not an anti-America movie. No. It's not an anti-Vietnamese movie. It's kind of, if anything, it's not even an anti-war movie. It's kind of it's a movie that just shows the absurdity of war. You know, I think one of the last lines of the movie, and Marlon Brando is in it, of course, you know, and it's incredible. He's not in it for long, but he plays an incredible part. And one of his last lines in it is he says, "Ow, it's ow, you bugger, you got me." One of his last lines is he turns around and says, "You lost me on the train of thought."
Sorry,
I say. Hey.
This is a quick film review, isn't it?
I'll tell you, I'm going to go over to you in a minute. Well, it was going to be a minute long. Where were you, lad?
His last words were?
Yeah.
So you're asking me, I don't know.
Well, you see, I was on a roll then, and now you just put me right off, and now I've completely forgotten where I was.
If you said be quiet, don't interrupt, I wouldn't have interrupted.
Well, I'm not going to say that, am I? What kind of conversation is that?
Well, you're making me listen.
It's not. Oh, I'm making you listen now, am I?
No, you're not.
No, I'm making you listen. Oh, I'm sorry.
Drinking.
No, please, let me hear you speak.
No, I think it's going to be like Barry Norman or something.
I'm still trying to think of what it was in the last thing. So, did you have this number? We're going to call some woman.
I'm calling it now.
Yeah, you're going to call some woman.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
She won't answer, but she might answer.
Well, it's ringing, and it's the camera's on you, by the way.
Is it? That's
yeah,
fine.
All you.
It is ringing, but nothing's coming out of the doula.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello.
Try it now.
Hello.
Hello.
You all right, my darling?
I'm all right. You all right?
I'm all right. We just been chatting. I don't know if you caught it, but we were chatting about that bloke, Daniel O'Donnell. And I couldn't remember whether you kissed him or he kissed you.
No, he didn't kiss me. I kissed him.
And he didn't
And
look
I
at you,
kissed
did
him
he?
on the left cheek, remember? And he turned away.
I know.
Yeah, my
Turned
dreams
away.
was over.
You were in a rage, weren't you? That was it. That was it. Because you wanted to marry him, didn't you?
Yeah, I did want to marry him. Yeah,
We were
I
also
did
chatting
think.
about your heated hostess trolley. I got Darren here as well. Say hello, Darren.
Hello,
Darren.
hello, darling. How are you? Susie, this
Hello,
is Susie.
Darren.
This is the hostess trolley
The hostess-
clapper.
Yeah.
Yes.
The clapper.
No, well, we want to know, Susie, because I don't think Russ told the story very well. And to be honest with you, I'm glad you weren't listening because he didn't paint you in a good light at one point.
Well, I don't know.
Well, what we just want to know, was it just you that clapped the hostess trolley, or did everyone clap the hostess trolley?
No, my whole family.
The whole family. You see, that
Just
makes...
me and my kids.
You
yeah.
and your kid, that's fine. You see, the whole family clapping the hostess trolley. You see, that's quite a nice thing. But the way that Russ painted it, he painted it as though it was just you, some crazy lady, clapping the hostess trolley all on her own. And I needed to find out what was the truth because we're live around the world on air.
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
your name being tainted in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. It was the whole family clapping the hostess. See, they're all nutters, not just Susie. The whole family. They're off the wall.
It was just the picture that was painted. Daniel O'Donnell, picture on the lounge wall. That came down.
Well, what we're going to try as well is because we don't like to in this world of fake news. We don't want to just. I'm not saying you're a liar in any way, shape, or form, Susie. I'm sure it was an innocent peck on the left cheek. And Daniel O'Donnell.
He's gay, isn't he?
So what we're going to try and do is hopefully next week is we're going to try and call Daniel himself and find his side of the story.
Yeah.
I
You
think-
might not remember.
I think that could be a lot better, Let's find out. I mean, for all he knows, we could be talking to a stalker at this moment in time, right?
I did say that.
You could have got us involved
No, I think-
live on our radio show with an international stalker. Daniel O'Donnell, he's given up. He gave up touring because of it.
Probably leapt over the barricade and got on the stage, pinned him to the floor.
But I could be wrong. It's just we don't know yet. That's all it
No,
is.
we could
Oh
do, 'cause
my God.
Pete's in Ireland, isn't
He is.
Hey?
We'll find that
he?
out.
Pete, we got one of our presenters in Ireland. He's very close to Daniel O'Donnell.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, see.
Yeah,
I went to see him 3 or 4 times, and I just kind of fell in love with the guy.
Yeah, you wanted to marry him.
I did want to marry him.
Was
yeah.
that after you found out he was gay or before?
He actually got married, didn't he, to someone who had kids?
Yeah, somebody called Brian, wasn't it?
Brian. That's right.
Oh,
And he only had the
dear
kids
me.
at the weekend. His wife had them the rest of the time.
Oh, my
So
God.
was that it then? Was that the end of the dream when he sort of turned away? Was that it? Was it an instant? It's over, or did you
No, you
did you send him a
another
letter?
concert,
Did you send him go to another concert afterwards? Or
Shaking
I
Stevens.
did go to another one, yeah.
yep.
Who was
Yeah,
it?
I did. But then it just wasn't the same.
wasn't the
the feelings had kind of faltered by then, I think.
After the security were escorting you out,
Yeah.
After he ripped his poster up.
you felt that perhaps
Oh, it sounds awful,
this
doesn't
was
it?
a
It
one-way
sounds
love
terrible
affair.
now.
So who was it you started stalking after that then? Sorry, who did you go and see?
Jason Donovan. I only went to see him the once.
Was
Yeah.
he wearing his amazing Technicolor coat?
He wasn't. No, he was down in Whitley Bay Ice Rink.
All right.
And there was
At
a
his
band on
peak at that
before
time,
him.
then. He was at his peak at that moment, then.
Yeah.
Whitley Bay High Street.
You didn't dress up as Kylie, did you?
So come on, tell us the time that you were stalking Jason Donovan then in Whitley Bay High Street.
No, I only went to see him the once, but I
Right.
did buy a Jason Donovan T-shirt, and me and my friend went with Jason Donovan T-shirts on, white trainers and jeans. It was in the day when you used to dress like that, really. And we
Still
tried
do.
to jump the queue.
Still got the jeans.
Still got the
I
T-shirt.
can't fit in them now. Middle-aged spread and all. But No, so I only went to see him once, but he was really good. But
He was my man.
my eldest son, his second name's Scott, because I fancy Jason Donovan and Neighbours.
Of course.
And I was going to call him Scott, but my
better
first
than
husband
Shaking
wouldn't
Stevens,
let
isn't it?
me.
He wouldn't let you.
And no, so he got called Kevin instead. But he has got Scott as his second name.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Kevin. I don't mean to laugh so much. Jesus. Oh God, I bet I wished he got your way.
I bet he's glad you didn't go to see an NWA concert.
Well, I
dear,
worked with Jason Donovan once back in 2002, I think, in Grand
wow.
Canaria. I only met him for sort of one night for a couple of hours. I'd love to have a story to say that he was a bit of a git, but to be honest with you, he was a lovely person. He was ever so
Right.
nice. He was really friendly. He stuck around. He signed autographs. I didn't try and kiss him or anything. That might have been.
That's why he was hanging around.
That's right. But no, he was a genuinely nice guy. So I'm glad you still like Jason, even if that Daniel O'Donnelly fella is dead to you.
But actually, Susie did redeem herself because the last concert was an Oasis concert.
Oh,
It was.
Yeah.
I did redeem myself. I went to see Oasis up at Loch Lomond.
Loch Lomond
And-
as well.
Yeah. And it was absolutely fantastic.
I'll
yeah.
tell you what, that sounds like an awesome venue. Loch
That
Lomond.
was probably about 40 years ago in Australia, to be honest.
Yeah, they were on a
Yeah.
barge. Just drifting.
Yeah.
Somebody
Oh,
pushed them
dear.
out.
Well, no, that sounds like a proper great venue. I mean, I haven't
Yeah,
seen
that
Oasis.
was. Yeah, that
I'd
was
love
a
to
really
have
good
seen
venue.
Oasis in their prime. And Loch Lomond, I mean, that is, that's legendary status. Just the name.
Yeah.
Oh, it might have been a tribute act. Depends how far away you are from the stage.
That's very true. That's very true. Well, it's been lovely talking to you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
and you.
answering your phone. And I say we are definitely going to try and get in touch with Daniel. We're going to see his side of the story and see. I don't know. I mean, if we did, and perhaps we could rekindle something. Is it too late?
no.
Is his chances too late for him now?
No.
Definitely too late.
No, I've went off him now.
Come off him now, right?
No.
But maybe Jason.
Susie, we record all our shows as well. So is there anybody you want to say a big hello to? Because you can then send them a link to listen to this nonsense. Or if there's anybody you don't like, you send it to Daniel O'Donnell if you like.
Yeah. He might be listening.
Well, I hope not.
We're in enough trouble as it is.
If he is, Daniel, this is for you.
You can have me both cheeks.
No, can I say hi to Faye?
Yeah, you just
Yes. Faye and my Kevin on the bus, and to Jane. We love Jane. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
and
German Jane?
everybody else that knows me.
Yeah, that's good. What about your driver? Oh, Kevin, yeah, all right.
I did, yeah, my Kevin. Yeah, my Kevin. I don't know if he'll be listening, no.
Oh, probably not.
I don't think.
No, he's probably sleeping now.
His medication would have kicked in now. So. It's gone past his bedtime.
Oh,
Anyway,
dear.
stay tuned. Listen to the rest of the show.
I will do.
All right.
I will do. Thanks, Rossi.
Bye now.
You take care. Happy New Year to you. Bye.
Bye.
I'm planning an advert. I just thought I'd let you know.
Happiness is when you finally stop smoking and enjoy vaping, having been given the very best advice there is from Somerset Vape, a family-run independent business based in Weston Supermare with an online shop. Just search for Somerset Vape or v4pe.co.uk.
Donated a bottle, yeah.
We're back. Ooh, if
Jace.
Jamshed donated a bottle
Yeah.
yet? No, they haven't donated anything to us yet, Jason.
That's all right.
Not a
Shed
single
heads.
penny.
But we're going to keep pestering them. Facebook,
We are.
Facebook.
We
you
are.
name
Yeah,
it.
shed heads. We are shed heads. In all fairness, if it wasn't a good wine, we wouldn't drink it. It is a great wine.
Yeah.
Just because we do blag it every week, honestly, do go and try it. As you can tell, we've moved up to the boxes now. That's how good it is. But yeah, try Jam Shed wines. I'm sure you can get that online. And of course, V4PE is our official sponsors. They look us after with the old vapes and stuff.
I'm on Cherry Tunes still.
And I'm still on the black. It's their top seller, and I know exactly why it's their top seller. Nice. It's fantastic. Love the stuff. So, thank you to Somerset Vape Company for supporting this, whatever this is, you know. But, thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers. So there we go. Yeah, no, it's all right, isn't it? You've got to get it down your neck.
Well, you got to try, mate. Got to try.
Well, that's nice. Speaking of Susie, wasn't it?
It was lovely.
Let's give a shout out and everything like that.
Nice to have some, some listeners come back and talk to us without.
That's two.
That's two. That's right.
But the chat room's okay. Poptastic's in there. He said he was at the Radio 1 Roadshow in 1991 when Jason Donovan was there at Western Prom. Yeah.
Sorry, I just...
Jason Donovan came to Western and
did he?
Pranced about a
when?
bit. 1991 with the Radio 1 Roadshow.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't bother going.
No, I didn't know that. I think was it the T4?
Was he?
No, I was at the T4.
Oh yeah, VIP tickets.
Yeah, because you didn't go, did you?
Got VIP tickets.
You blagged the tickets and you couldn't go.
Yeah, I had to give mine up. Yeah, great, wasn't it? T4 on the beach, massive, wasn't it? You had a really cracking... You were acting like you were a
celebrity
from Brookside, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because you were actually up with all the guests, weren't you?
With all the guests.
All the
That's
stars
where... That is the moment. That is my story where... Oh, God, it's terrible that I forgot her name. Big Brother. Jade Goody. That is where me and Jade were in a toilet together.
Yeah.
A man's toilet together. Me and Jade, a cubicle... on our own. I mean, I'm not so sure that is a claim to fame.
Yeah,
but that did happen. And what's his face there? He barged past me like he was a proper diva. The Alan Carr. Carr was there
Chatty
as well.
Man.
Chatty man.
He didn't chat to you though.
He didn't chat to me.
But the funny thing, the story about that, like I said, it was Curly, a friend of ours, wasn't it? Company guy. He said, "Yeah, I can get you VIP tickets for the T4 on the beach," and he got 4 tickets, didn't he?
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, this will be brilliant. So it's all comp, all the food was comp, drinks, all the stars
Mate,
were there.
We, in truth, we didn't realise it was all comp.
Oh, didn't
we? I didn't. It was only when we went up to the Malibu bar and I got money out and they just looked at me like I was a weirdo and thought, right, I thought, okay, I'll move away from this one. And then we went up to the Budweiser bar and that was free. Yeah. And then we realised it was quits in.
I don't know what happened because I ended up, there was a gig, I couldn't get out of it. And so Sarah went, who was my partner at the time, and she went with you.
Yep.
And after she came out, I said, "Oh, did you meet anybody famous?" And it was all the people, the cast were there from Brookside, all the stars and that.
Yeah.
Because you were doing autographs because people were reaching up, weren't they, to get autographs.
That's exactly right.
You were prancing around like you were on the telly.
Well, the thing was, this is the truth, right? There was these 3 or 4 lads that were sort of that blagged the VIP thing, and they looked. I mean, at the time, I must have been, I don't know, maybe late 20s, early 30s.
I don't know.
I think probably early 30s at the time. These lads were 18, 19, 20, 21. There was 4 of them, and they looked proper. They had all the gear on, you know what I mean? They had the white denim jackets, they had the looks, they had the biceps, they had the... Oh, I tell you what, if I was that way, I would have fancied them myself, but...
You settled for Jade.
I settled for Jade in the toilets. That's right. Oh, bless her. I tell you, she was a lovely lady.
But
lovely
that was the funny
girl.
thing. But
I got to finish this story, sorry.
Go
So there was these 4 lads there, and they looked the part. They looked like they were the next boy band. There was no way they would not have been a boy band. So I was telling all the girls that were down on the sand area, you know, not in the VIP area, saying, you want to be getting these guys autographs. These are the next big thing. These are the next big boy band. And they said, oh, really? What's what they called? So can't say anything now. It's that new, but they're the next. You want to get these. So they started writing, giving out autographs to all these girls. And I thought I'd done my part for them, you know. And I wasn't expecting them to return the favour. But if they did return the favour, perhaps they could have said, oh, this guy is, the next big music thing. Or a music director or something like that. The next Daniel O'Donnell, exactly, you know. But as it was, it went, oh yeah, but this guy's in Brookside. I'm like, what the fuck? So I ended up having to sound Brookie deals, all day long. But thank you for that, by the way. Thank you, because you set that deal up, by the way. You set the whole day up.
Bloody thing, and I missed it. And then when I eventually came to pick Sarah up from having been at T4 on the beach, and I said, oh, of course, I spoke to her, picture, I didn't see you. And I said, well, did you see anybody famous? She went, well, no, not really. And I thought, well, where were you? Oh, she said, no, I did. I was stood in the queue waiting for the toilet. And I went, right. And she said, no, I'm not sure. Is it in there? And Jade Goody turned and said, yes, it is me. Yeah. So she said, yeah, I met Jade Goody. And I said, there was like 5 hours of the sort of top acts. I mean, I wasn't there, so I didn't know who was listing it. Yeah. All the stars, and when she come back and said she met Jade Goody. Then I see you, and you said, yeah, they're Brookside, and I was doing autographs. And I'm going, what was she doing? Was she in a bloody sat in the corner or something?
I was in my element, I must admit.
I can imagine you.
I was in my element the moment we found out it was a free bar. And then,
that's all you need, isn't it?
And then after that, I probably came out of my element, but turned into the "it's not my fault" from this moment onwards.
Well, yeah.
But it was a great day, and I thank you for that, because I remember you blagging it with Curly to get us tickets.
And he did, because I was calling his bluff, because I thought he was full of shit. And he said, no, I've got a mate of mine in the pocket. He's right up there. He's right. And get some T4 tickets. I can get them. I said, well, I want some VIP tickets to mix with everybody. I said, yeah. And he turned up with them. And then I couldn't go. I can't remember what it was I had to do, but whatever it was, I had to do it. Otherwise, I would have got out. I was gutted. Yeah. Absolutely gutted. When I knew there was a free bar, I'm not that bothered about who's singing on the stage or miming or whatever.
I think if you remember, these were the days where we were knocking back a good couple of bottles of wine a day anyway.
Yeah. Well,
so a chance of a free night, or a free gig of some beer. I mean, that would have.
And people thinking that you're famous.
Oh, it's so funny.
I know.
So funny.
I know. Yeah, you had a good day out.
I did have a good day, and you didn't have a good day.
I didn't, no. And funny enough, they stopped doing it after that, didn't they? So,
that was the last one.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I've got no bloody chance of going to one now, have I? But there you go. So this film review business, are you sure you want to do that? Because...
Well, I
lost interest when you started chatting.
Well, it's a film review that goes on for about a minute or so.
Yeah.
I'm just going to remind people of a decent movie to watch and it's not going to be a new movie, it's an old one. Apocalypse Now I watched last week, and it was just such a good movie. I mean, it is a good movie. Everybody says it's a good movie, but sometimes you forget. When I worked out the last time I watched Apocalypse Now from last week, it was 25, 30 years ago.
Why haven't you ever done like E.T. returning?
Well, that's Spielberg. And we're talking about Francis Ford Coppola, Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Although George Lucas was going to be making Apocalypse Now, decided to make Star Wars instead. Yeah. And Coppola said, well, sod it, I'll make Apocalypse Now.
Avatar, the water, isn't it? The water was.
See, this is new stuff. I'm not interested in new movies. I know Avatar 2 is out now.
Charlie Chaplin was good.
He was all right. Well, I still find it ironic that a guy which is predominantly known for for silent movies, probably done the greatest speech in movie history.
He did,
in the Dictator.
Yeah. As Hitler, he played the part of Hitler.
That's right. Yeah. Incredible speech from a man who's known for silent movies.
Yeah,
amazing.
Well, I know what you're like when there's a microphone around, mate.
That's why I've never been asked to be best man anymore, mate.
Actually, funny, I was best man at MC's wedding, mate. And it's not a good idea when you try and say, what's an anagram of mother-in-law, woman Hitler. That didn't get down too well. That's not a good opener. Don't do that one. And if you turn around and say, I've known Mike for X amount of years, we've been through a lot together, can't remember all their names, that's not a good thing to say.
It's perhaps not the right move.
It went quiet, but I thought I got their attention now because they were thinking, what the hell's he going to say next? And the truth is I can't remember. So
yeah,
so there you go. Why am I watching us on this? So New Year's Revolutions, mate. I have about 8, and as you know, I've probably buggered up 5 of them.
Okay, so Podtastic, by the way, is messaged in, and he said he was at T4 Too Near the Drunks at the back in 2008ish. So that would have been the time. That would have been round about the time.
Actually, am I on a cruise or something? Didn't I do that 3 days?
Do you know what? You had to go on a cruise.
Yeah, 3 days.
That's why you couldn't go.
Yeah, because you gave them a jokey price, didn't you?
Yes.
That's right, yeah, because they phoned up, didn't they? They were short. It was
take the mick price.
Italian marketing. And they said, well, I might be able to free him up, but if I do, this is how much.
You have to cover his gigs that he's going to be losing.
Yeah, I thought they're never going to go for that, and they bloody accepted it.
They accepted it. That's right.
There I was, anchored off a Guernsey, and
that is exactly why you didn't go to T4 on the beach.
I said that had a good reason.
Yeah, that is exactly why. Yeah, because we blagged you on a P&O.
Yeah, well, I was in the background, and you were on the phone. You were taking a phone call, and we're looking at each other and said, "Do you want to do it?" And I said, "No, I don't want to do it." And then I think you tried and said, "Yeah, 1,800 quid."
It was a ridiculous price. It was 3 days' work. It was 3 days' work. And it was a ridiculous price because it's those prices. If you don't want to do it, put in a silly price, and they'll say no.
Yeah,
they said yes.
Yeah, I mean, I can't knock it. It was all right. It was an easy gig out of Southampton, back to Southampton. It was an Italian marketing company hired a cruise ship for 3 days. I think it was something like £3 million it cost them.
Wow.
To hire the ship for 3 days just to get, it was international marketing people from eBay and Google and, all the big companies, a massive kind of the very top head of marketing with massive budgets, all listening to people talk dribble about, this and that and the other. I went in, I listened to a few things, but here I am. I'm at my peak. It obviously worked for me, marketing, didn't it?
Yeah, true.
I'm doing the Rishi Sunak.
I did watch the documentary about the Costa Concordia last week as well.
Yeah, that's scary.
Could always mention about that. That was weird. Well, the best thing about, I say the best thing, the worst thing about it, but the greatest thing that they got from that is the telephone conversation between the lifeguard.
Oh, get back
Coast
on the boat.
Guard. That's right, Coast Guard and the captain. I mean, unbelievable.
Get back on the ship.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, that was ridiculous. I mean, there's a lot of things that go on which could be perceived as slightly dodgy on a cruise ship, but never, ever anything to do with passenger safety or anything like that. The dodginess is somebody getting a bit too drunk, but not the captain getting drunk. Really? There's a few things, but not in that essence, Well, it was certainly not for P&O. I loved working for P&O. They looked after us big time. I'm on you then, and you were there typing away and doing all sorts of things.
I don't know what you're doing.
So I might do the movie thing every week. I've made a point in this new year, 2023, is as all the movies and everything. I mean, if you look at 2022. The only good movie, really, that got just rave reviews all around was Top Gun.
Yeah, I still want to see the second
Top
one.
Gun Maverick. Well, Top Gun Maverick, which was the second one from the original one sort of 30-odd years ago.
Ching, ching.
No, cheers, my friend.
Yeah.
No wokeness in it, no nothing. It was very masculine, very manly. It was, here's some fighter planes, here's some fighter jets, here's some guys, here's some pilots doing their thing.
Yeah.
And it was a great movie. So I'm not going to... I just don't think I'm in the mood to watch anything new. So I thought I'm going to watch some old movies, go back in time, and I started off with Apocalypse Now. I thought it was better than the first time I watched it. And in truth, I probably watched it a couple of times. Because back then, when you're young, you'll rinse a movie once you got it from Blockbuster.
I mean,
got it for 24 hours. You're not going to waste just one of them, two of them, three, maybe.
Like the film like Life of Brian, which is an old film, but if you watch
a classic.
But if you watch it and you fall about laughing and stuff like that, there's so much that you miss. That's why I've watched it several times, because there's always something different going on. Because even if you know what they're going to say, if you're looking at what's going on in the background, it's funny. So yeah, I get what you're saying. And sometimes a good film is worth watching, 2 or 3 times. I'll
tell you another one for the Apocalypse Now. Then, when you watch it, is that one of the most famous scenes in that is the flight of the Valkyrie, where the Huey helicopters come over and just basically blow up the village.
Yeah.
Now, the Americans or the American army didn't want anything to do with Apocalypse Now. Well, they did if they could change the script. Coppola said, "There's no way you're changing the script. This is not anti-American. It's a war movie. I've got to keep it to my heart." So they couldn't get it because Vietnam. Basically, the guns and everything in Vietnam.
I was in that.
Was all what? Cheltenham?
No, Birmingham.
Birmingham. Okay, it was close enough. But everything in Vietnam was pretty much American weapons.
Gun ho, wasn't it?
But everything was all weapons. As it was, they said, no, you can't use any of our helicopters if you're not going to change your script.
Okay.
So what they decided to do is they spoke, because it was filmed in the Philippines, and the Philippine army said, yes, you can have, we've got 15 helicopters, you can have full use of all of them. Unfortunately, only 3 of them are flying. So first thing Coppola's, the film company did was fix all the helicopters that had to be fixed.
That's not bad, is it?
Not a bad gig straight away. From there, they said, yes, you can use them. But at the time, the Philippines were fighting a guerrilla war down in the south.
Yeah, they're almost extinct now, aren't they?
So they are, guerrillas are almost extinct.
Not fair, is it?
So, well, I don't know. It all depends if you like gorillas or not. If you don't, then, it's a good thing. If you do. I saved a bee today.
Did you?
No, yesterday, stroke today. This is much more interesting than Apocalypse.
Okay, you're moving on.
Yeah, I saved a bee.
Yeah.
There was a bee, a big bee, almost like a...
That'd be a queen bee, though.
Well, it could have almost been a queen bee.
Yeah.
And it was in my house last night.
Okay.
Last night. I heard this humming about sort of like 9 o'clock at night. What the hell's humming doing in my house?
Yeah.
It's not me. Found a bee.
Okay.
And it's there winging itself around the light. So I caught it with a glass.
Yeah.
And I was going to let it out.
That's a good throw.
Well, yeah. I caught it with a glass and I was going to, this is it. I turned the light out and the bee stopped flying and landed on the carpet.
Okay.
Right? So from that point, I took a glass, put it over the bee and left it on the carpet. Put a, card underneath.
Any card?
Any card, pick a card, any card, right? He did actually go for it. He did go for it. So I was about to let him out, and I thought, hang on, because it got dark then instantly, and he just stopped flying. I wonder I don't know if do bees go out at night?
Possibly.
What was the deal, right? So I've got this bee on the table under a glass, and I'm Googling, do bees sleep at night?
Yeah.
And it transpires that it does, in fact, bees do sleep at night. Bees and wasps are,
wasps.
This could be a big wasp, I don't know, but it looked like a bee. It wasn't a bumblebee, that's my point.
Okay.
So it does transpire that bees and wasps do sleep at night. When the sun goes down, then they return to nest, they stay there for the night, and then they start again in the morning. So I thought, I can't let a bee out at night because where's it going to go?
Well, you don't know, do you?
Well, yeah, but it didn't fly.
No.
Because it didn't fly the moment I turned the light out. It seemed to go, oh, fuck me, it must be tired. It's time to go to bed, time to go to sleep.
Doesn't start walking, yeah.
Exactly. So I kept it overnight. I dropped in a couple of drops of sugar water because they say, give it some sugar.
Not jam shed.
Not jam shed. No. Oh no, I couldn't have. I couldn't have got it. Mind you, it might have been the best night of its life. It might have gone back to the hive and went, lads,
let's go there. Move in.
Let's go there.
It'd do that funny wiggle down.
So I gave it a bit of water. Woke up this morning. It was still alive. Yeah. I also, this might be interesting for you or not. I also Googled how long will a wasp live under a glass?
Okay.
Because I'm thinking, if the glass is there, what about all the CO2 build up? And
I don't think the lungs are that big.
Transpires, according to Google, the oxygen in a glass is enough for a wasp to last for up to 30 to 40 days.
Really?
And a bee or wasp only generally lasts.
What if they smoke?
Lifetime is 22 days.
What if it's a smoking?
Well, it'll cut down, but it only lives for 22 days anyway. Okay. So there was enough. So anybody out there?
Are you telling me you still got it as a pet?
No. If there's anybody out there that catches a wasp at night, my point is if you put a glass over it, it's going to be safe. It's going to be okay. It's not going to die of non-oxygen. And don't let it out at night because they go asleep. Yeah, don't squish it. That's not nice. That's not nice. And then let it out in the daytime. So I let it out in the daytime. I took the glass off. Yeah. Outside, sat there for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Adjusting.
Yeah. To the point, and this is a thing, if I'm eating a sandwich at a picnic and a bee or a wasp is flying around, I'm pretty I'm pretty slow flaky when it comes to bees and wasps. I'm kind of, I'll run around the place, yeah? But I kind of bonded with this bee so much that, I felt that it wasn't going to sting me. So I gave it a little prod.
Yeah.
No, I would never have given a bee a prod because, it could sting me. Or maybe it could have been a big wasp. I don't know.
Okay.
But I gave it a little prod and it sort of moved a little bit. So I thought, it's alive. And then it flew off.
Okay, well, you probably woke it up.
Didn't thank me. Didn't give a fuck all.
Well, you don't know. It might be when you finish this show, mate, go back to your lounge. If Ash comes running down the corridor, there's a bee.
That's right. But yeah, I saved a bee last night. And my question is, what the hell is a bee doing in January?
Well, it's mild, isn't it? They're confused.
Is it mild? I thought it's been bloody cold over the last few days.
Yeah, but they've got quite furry, aren't they? Bees.
This wasn't a furry bee.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a bumblebee.
It might not have been a bee then.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't a bumblebee. It was a bee that looked like a big wasp.
Yeah, that's all right, then, isn't it?
Just saying.
I'll tell you what, one thing, I don't
The
know.
Doobie Brothers, apparently, accordingly, that's what it is. That's what Poptastic has just told us in the message.
What they got to do with
Doobie
wasps?
Brothers. I don't know. What, Doobies?
Got it.
Doobie.
Yeah.
Doobie Brothers.
Yeah.
Do you know if we could play a tune? I might play a tune, but we can't. We're restricted. We're not allowed to.
Yeah,
This is a
and we
talk
get
show.
kicked off of Twitch. We're on Twitch.
That's right, we're on Twitch as well. Hello to our Twitcheroos. If you have sent messages, by the way, on Twitch, I do apologise. It's
Can't
just
be
come
bothered.
up. No, it's just come up in my chat saying that it couldn't load the page. So I've lost the chat for Twitch. So there's probably a couple of thousand people on there now saying, why aren't they answering us?
We never answer.
Why aren't they
Well,
answering
we're only
us?
on for an hour.
Well, come back next week.
Do you know what I did yesterday?
And we'll more than answer your questions. We're here every Sunday, by the way, 9 till 10. Every Sunday in the United Kingdom, that is, GMT prices. The tongue does vary around the world, wherever you're from, unless you're flat earthers. And in that case, we're not really sure how time works because it doesn't fit in with stuff.
Anyway.
No.
I wouldn't have thought so.
No, we might talk about flat Earth once, but the thing is you're in agreement with me. It's a load of bollocks, yeah.
No point, isn't it?
That's right.
I think.
And every time I talk to Ayers for Andy about it, he always thinks I'm picking on him.
Yeah. And
So-
then if I'm there,
So there's two of us
Double
picking on him.
whammy.
But I'll tell you one thing there is, which I would like to do one day, and perhaps we can sort this out. We can get Ayers for Andy on and talk about flat Earth. And we obviously, if there's two of us against him, that's not fair.
Yeah.
So we'll have to bring him a partner. So who else do we know that believes in... Oh, no, you're wrong, my friend.
Oh, you know lots, do you?
No, I know one other.
Oh, go on, Annie, was it?
One other deadly serious fella that believes in flat Earth.
And it is.
He's got a wife. He's got kids. Yeah. He's allowed to drive, and he's allowed a job.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's our very own station manager, Jason Dubb.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jace Dubb believes in flat Earth, and he's a Mason as well. Well, he's not a Mason. I think he just turns up. You know, he knows where they have the meetings to now, and he hangs around outside. Yeah. I think that's what happens.
Being at a Daniel O'Donnell concert.
Well, that's like being at a Daniel O'Donnell concert. Yeah. That's right. He's just waiting for that little peck on the cheek, and that's it. But yeah, so I think we should get Jason and Andy in. Not now, but we'll get them in a future show, and I think we should discuss
more bloody
flat
whining
Earth.
for that one then.
Oh, well, no, Jace is up. Fair play to Jace, man. He goes in for his operation this week.
Does he?
Yep.
Okay.
Wow. Serious stuff. Goes in for his operation. Yeah. He had his last big meal last night.
Bad pizza, Miss Millie's.
Oh, I tell you what, you nailed it. You nailed it on the third one.
The last party bucket.
On the third one, Miss Millie's.
Yeah, his last party bucket, 21
That's
pieces.
Exactly right.
What are the kids having?
His last big meal. He said, I've had my last big meal now. He said, now I've got to go on restricted diet for the next week until the operation.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to mention the operation because, A, it's nobody else's business, and B, if he wants to become a woman, let him become a woman.
I know.
That's the way I see it.
know.
You know, there's nobody else's business.
It'd be sort of attractive, but in a sort of like a Bet Lynch from Coronation Street sort of way.
In a kind of, in a kind of, I really know it's wrong, but, you know, I can't help but find it some kind. Would he be attractive? I don't know.
A few more wines.
Sure. A few more wines, maybe, But yeah, so he... his last meal, I spoke to him last night, And he said, "Yeah, I've had my last meal now. I've got a week where I've got to go."
21 pieces of chicken.
Miss Millie's. So
Yeah,
that was his last meal, which made me stop and think. Because in America and other places in the world, they've still got the death penalty.
What, for eating chicken?
No, not for eating chicken. They've still got the death penalty.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's an urban myth, but I doubt it. The saying goes is you're allowed your last meal. You know, you can request whatever you like.
Hundreds and thousands.
Well, this is what I was going to ask. What would be your last meal?
I'd have a pot of hundreds and thousands. Cake decoration. I'd only eat them one at a time, mate.
One.
No brainer. It's a no brainer, mate. Sorry about that.
One.
Glass of water to wash that one down, please.
Two.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, then because I haven't got a last meal.
That almost leads nicely into what I'm holding in my. I want to say this. Do you know there's this quote that Woody Allen done about life?
Oh, but he's done quite a few. But
yeah, but this is. I'm going to read it.
Yeah, please do.
Because I know you'll have a twist. Because the thing, life as we know it is the wrong way round. And this is a famous quote by Woody Allen. It's not anything I've made up, and I absolutely love this. In my next life, I want to live my life backwards. You start off dead, and you get that out of the way. Then you wake up in an old people's home, feeling better every day. You get kicked out for being too healthy. You go and collect your pension, and then when you start work, you get a gold watch and a party on your first day. You work for 40 years until you're young enough to enjoy your retirement. You party, drink alcohol, and are generally promiscuous. Then you're ready for high school. You then go to primary school. You become a kid. You play. You have no responsibilities. You become a baby until you are born. And then you spend your last 9 months floating in a luxurious spa. Spa-like conditions with central heating and room service on tap. Larger quarters every day, and then voila, you finish off as an orgasm.
Yeah, that's not a...
So yeah, I'm up for that.
Yeah, that's not... It's... If I'm honest, it's not that different from... I mean, it's the ending bit that gets me, you know. The endings are quite the same. You know, you start off... If you go normally as a baby, you start off getting fed and getting looked after. And come the end, you're getting fed and looked after.
Yeah, and happy in bed.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I think... There's a lot to be said for living young and dying old or something like that in there. Is that how the statement goes?
No, I think you're finding it. Was it, yeah, too young, too fast, too young? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that,
but live old, die
young.
young.
It's nice, isn't it? It should be backwards in a way.
Yeah.
But at least you finish off as an orgasm, which is better than having a cardiac arrest laid in a bed, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm like if you're gonna go, just make it quick. Don't let me know about it. Just make it happen.
10 minutes, haven't we?
Well, we've got only 5. You've got this show just flies. It just flies. It writes itself, really. I mean, that's the beauty of doing an unscripted show.
Yeah.
Is every week it's unscripted.
Bottle of jam shed.
Bottle of jam shed.
I thought we were gonna have split screen. There will be complaints, you know.
We'll have split screen next week.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll dress up then for that. Not like dress up.
I was just going to say, easy, you know, or a dress.
No, we'll save that for Jace.
Well, absolutely. After
or Jasmine, as he's going to be called.
Jasmine on a Wednesday, I've been told.
And a Friday.
Well, it'll be all the time. Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, that's it. So
it's weird how old you get. Your mental age. I was speaking to Mum today, and we had the same kind of conversation we've had in the past, but it brought up the same thing. That in her head, she's still 26, 27. Yeah. Same age as me.
Yeah.
Same age as me. I'm 26, 27 in my head. Yeah. It's my body that's telling me you're fucking not. You're nowhere near that.
My body don't talk to my brain anymore.
Is it?
No. I've tried to convince it I'm a lot younger than I am. It's like, taking the piss now, mate. But, I don't have to jump over anything.
All right. We've done so many things tonight. But what we didn't do, we didn't light you up. See that? Look at that. I'll tell you what, you've lost 10 years already. Yeah.
That's the wine, mate.
That is, it's my eyesight.
So anyway, what would you have as your last meal if you were?
I don't know. I think I can't beat the hundreds and thousands. I can't beat the hundreds and thousands. I think I would do that just to be a pedantic prick. You know, just going to say, well, what's the worst that can happen? What are you going to do? Kill me?
Fight the fire in the sky. You're going to die before you finish them, aren't you?
That's right. One. Look, the rule says I can finish my last meal.
Yeah.
I wonder if it does. I wonder if it says you're allowed a last meal or you're allowed to finish a last meal. Because there's got to be some kind of time restriction. Because everything's done at midnight, isn't it, for some reason?
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, most
Not so many
executions.
people around. More electricity.
More
'cause people are in
electricity.
bed.
Yeah, well, they don't just execute, do they? They poison as well. And
Yeah, and lethal injection.
yeah, they're looking at some states are in America are looking at bringing back the firing squad.
All right, okay.
Which, although it sounds brutal and sounds barbaric, I think I prefer being shot in the head to trying to get zapped by electric or being poisoned. And, you know, the stories you hear with people being zapped and poisoned isn't good. There's a lot of them that... And it's a myth, you know, it's not like they say, oh, yeah, but if you live... then they class it as an act of God. You know, that doesn't happen. If you live, they redo it until the act of God doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, there'll be just as much of an outcry about that, wouldn't there?
Anyway, looking at it, we've got like sort of 30 seconds to go.
We?
Yeah, and we've really ended on a downer, haven't we?
Well, I don't know.
Execution.
You brought it up, mate.
Well, you brought it up in the last couple of minutes, in fairness.
Well, and that's what you'd have to eat.
Well, hundreds and thousands, the same as you, mate.
Be the cell next to
right.
me.
And I want them after him.
Yeah. Chocolate coated ones.
That's right. Yeah. Once he finishes his lot, I'll have mine. So I think we're definitely gone. I don't even know if I got time to play the outro music, which is sad. But I'm going to put it on.
Well, tell everybody. Have a good 2023.
In fact, we're probably still going on Twitch, so we can keep the music going until the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're off radio in 10 seconds. Say goodbye.
Goodbye then.
And I'll say,
join
goodbye.
us again next week.
Cheers. Next week. Lovely.
Ching ching.
Ching ching. So there you go. We're off. We're off our station now.
All right.
Booted off.
Okay.
People of Twitch are probably still listening in. We've got a minute or so to go. This is where it's like the Grape and Vape after hours show. This bit.
Yeah. Gratis.
It's all right. It's all free.
All right.
Great wine, mate. Enjoyed tonight's show. It was nice to get what was her name, Susie?
Susie, yeah.
Nice to get Susie involved.
She sent a message down. Oh, I'm signing autographs now. I've been on the radio. But I'll explain to her about Mixcloud that she can catch up and
get her on Twitch. I don't even know how Twitch works really, but I'm on it. We're on it, mate. You know, we're probably the oldest bastards on Twitch. You realise that? Oh, I'm sure we are.
But I chucked that in because like I said, it was just the hostess trolley. I thought, yeah, I'll just write that in. That's a bit of fun, isn't it? And I
genuinely didn't know if it was her just clapping on her own then. See, I felt slightly let down when I heard the whole family because I would have looked good on you, girl. Good on you.
You know, right. You're in the kitchen go, on the trolley.
I tell you, we might have bought hostess trolleys back. She might have single-handedly.
The Grape and Vape show brought to you by... Whatever.
Do you reckon? Yeah. Do you reckon there's any promotion in Grape? Right. Well, I suppose we'll finish off now then, shall we?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah. Cheers, guys. Thank you, people on Twitch. I hope you've had a lovely evening and a great start to 2023. We've got so many days to go, so if you've had a bad 8 days, don't get too worried.
And if there's anybody that wants to buy a Vauxhall Corsa 3-speed.
Oh, God, yeah, your car. Let's not talk about the car.
No, let's not.
Let's not.
Ta-da then.
Ta-da now.